Hello everyone. It's that time of year again. We are about to delve into the fighting fantasy book, House of Hell. This will be the third year that I have done this. I'm really looking forward to it. It's also going to be a sad day when we finally win in this and get out alive. Shall we delve into the horrors of House of Hell? Okay, yes. Okay, let's see. Roll for our skill. That's the lowest skill that we can get. Oh no. That's good. That's kind of like your hit points and our luck. Luck is very good. But now our fear. This is a unique one. Normally you just have the three other stats. Fear. You may encounter something that causes a fear point. It's like sanity points, that kind of thing, in other games. Your fear score is the number of points you can take before being frightened to death. 10. That's pretty good. Better than our skill. Adventure sheet. Yep. Our skill is so bad. Okay, let's begin. The rain spatters the windshield relentlessly. You can see no more than a watery gloom as you strain forward over the steering wheel to see the road ahead. Although the wipers flap valiantly, they are fighting a losing battle. As the rain drives harder and harder, your foot eases off the accelerator. The headlights struggle to light up the road. Damn! You curse the white-haired old man who sent you off along this bumpy track. Probably he meant the second turn on the left, or even a right turning. The old fool. Perhaps this is idea of a joke. After all, didn't you notice a mischievous glint in his eye? Something vaguely sinister? But what sort of nonsense is this? So you've taken a wrong turn and got caught in a downpour in the night. The rain will ease off soon. You can't possibly keep up this deluge for long, and then you'll be able to... Watch out! You spin the wheel frantically to the left to avoid a figure who, from nowhere, shows up in the headlights. The car bumps and jolts as it bounces over the rocky roadside and thumps into a ditch. You collect your thoughts. You're unhurt, but shaken. Then you remember what has happened. The body. You must have hit the figure that appeared. There was no way you could have avoided him. You spring out of your car, praying that he is still alive. Your clothes soak up the rain as you hobble back to the road. In the darkness, it is difficult to see anything, but there is no sign of a body. You consider the situation. Are you certain that it was someone and not a trick of the light? Yes. You can remember the arms held up in fright as the car collided, and the look of anguish on his face. His face! There was something familiar about that face. a man you recognize. An old man with white hair. Your heart leaps. No, impossible. With a shiver of fear, you race back to the car, jump inside and force the key into the ignition, twist it violently. The starter coughs, sputters, and dies. You hit the key again, but this time a single shudder is all the engine can manage. You grasp the wheel with your hands and shake it desperately as if to force some life into the car. But the battery is dead. Your car is certainly not budging from the ditch tonight. Your situation is hopeless. But now the plight of your car is paramount. Where can you get help? You passed a garage at Mangleford, but that was some 20 miles away. As if in answer, a light appears in the distance. Someone has switched on a bedroom light. What a stroke of luck! It was at least 15 miles back that you passed the last house, and you happened to have broken down just short distance from someone's home. You button up your coat and open the door. From outside the car you can see the building more clearly. Just ahead on the left, the drive winds. Just ahead on the left, a drive winds up to a large house. It's a good 5 minutes walk away, and by the time you reach it, you will be drenched. But how else can you call the garage? You can't afford to miss tomorrow's appointment. No, go you must. Anyway, you'll probably be able to dry off inside phoning the garage. You slam the door, turn up your collar, and set off for the house. A flash of lightning lights it up clearly for you, but in your preoccupation with the rain, the warning from above is wasted on you. The house is old, very old, and in a shocking state of repair. The light in the window is flickering, most likely an oil lamp, certainly not electric. You don't notice a fact that might have turned you back away. There was no telephone line going to the house. As you climb the steps to the front door, little do you realize what fate has in store for you. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. Pictures! You climb the creaking steps up to the front door and pause to catch your breath. Even though you ran all the way up the drive from the car, you are soaked through. Your feet are particularly wet. Judging by the number of puddles you stepped in the dark, the drive needs a small fortune spending on repairs. But under the porch, you are out of the storm, and you brush the rain from your clothes before turning towards the door. The rain is still pelting down, but an eerie silence hangs in the air. No lights are on downstairs. You step back off the porch to check out the upstairs window which attracted your attention earlier. Nothing. No lights. The whole place seems deserted. But then you remember the time. 5 minutes to midnight. Everyone in the house has probably gone to bed. An owl hoots in the distance, and shiver runs down your spine. The situation is a little scary. Here you are in the middle of nowhere, at some strange run-down old house, about to wake up whoever lives inside, at midnight. They certainly won't be too pleased, but you have no choice. If you are going to make your appointment tomorrow, you must reach a telephone, to call for help. You step up to the front door. From the left-hand side of the house, a dull glow catches your attention. A light has been turned on. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least someone is awake. You consider your options. There is an elaborate knocker in the middle of the door, and a bell pull hanging down to the right. Will you go rap the door with the knocker? Turn 2. Or will you pull the cord? Alternatively, you could creep around the house to investigate the light by turning 2. Well, I don't think we will be rude by creeping around the house, so let's try the cord. You grasp the rope and pull. From the depths of the house, you hear a tangling noise, and the light from the side window goes out. Oh. A few moments later, the door handle turns slowly, and the door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall man, dressed in a dark suit with tails. Ah, tails. It reminds me of my father. He used to have jacket with tails because he was a musician in an orchestra for a while. And sometimes he would wear tennis shorts with tails. It was cool. His long face is solemn. Yes? He asks indignantly. You smile nervously and explain your situation. Your car has broken down and you need to reach a telephone, and you are soaked to the skin. The man's face remains expressionless. Come in, he orders. The master is expecting you. Follow me. He leads you into a reception hall and tells you to sit down while he informs his master of your arrival. Turn to 8. You sit down in a solid carved chair and look around. The reception hall is certainly not what you would have expected from the outside. It is elegantly decorated with rich tapestries and fine oak panels. A number of portraits line the walls. A sturdy 16th century table is set against one wall. Will you wait for your host to arrive? Or will you study the paintings? Alternatively, will you hunt for a telephone? We're being polite, so we will wait for our host. We were asked to wait here. Footsteps. Someone is coming. The tall man you met earlier walks in, opening the door for another tall man dressed in a red smoking jacket. May I present Lord Kelnor, the Earl of Drummer, the butler announces. The Earl holds out his hand, and you shake it. His grip is strong, and his eyes pierce yours. His lips widen to a soft smile. You begin to tell him of your predicament, but he holds up his hand. Please, I can see that you have been caught in this filthy storm. Let us sit by the fire, and we will see whether we can help. Franklin's, tell the cook to prepare some food for our visitor. You protest that you do not wish to be any trouble, but your host ignores you and leads you into a drawing room where a fire is burning. You take off your coat and sit down. The heat of the fire makes you feel comfortable. Once more, Franklin returns with 2 glasses of brandy. Will you relax, drink the brandy, and ask if you can use the phone? Or will you wait and see what he asks you by turning 2? I think we will sip on the brandy. That would be nice after a storm in front of a fire. The fire and brandy warm you, and you begin to feel more relaxed. You lose 1 fear point, which we do not have. You explain to the Earl what happened on the road, and that you would like to use his phone to call the local garage. I'm afraid our telephone line came down tonight in the storm, he replies. We will have it repaired tomorrow morning. In any case, the garage would not come out here at this hour. But don't worry. You are perfectly welcome to spend the night here. I'm glad of the company. Tomorrow, Franklin's will take you into town. Ah, here is Franklin's now. The butler comes back in to announce that a meal is ready. You both rise and go into the dining room. The dining room looks magnificent. A long table stretches between two fine chairs and is laid with gleaming silver cutlery. A rich red wallpaper covers the walls, and the room is lit by a sparkling chandelier, bristling with candles, which hangs from the ceiling. You take your seat, and the butler moves behind you to offer you wine. Which wine would you like to drink? If you like to choose the white wine, turn to, or if you'd prefer the red. Now, personally, I like red wine. Not that I've had it in many, many years, but I do like red. Let's go with red. It can only lead to good things. The wine is impeccable, a fine vintage. Soup follows, and then you may choose between two dishes for your main course. If you would like lamb, or would you prefer duck? Alternatively, you can tell your host that you have already eaten and are not hungry. Let's try the lamb. Both can be very nice with red wine. A rack of lamb is brought on a silver platter. The smell is delicious. You both start to eat and talk. The Earl asks you about your job and your reason for being in such an out-of-the-way place in the middle of the night. In turn, he tells you about himself and his family. The Earl of Drummer is the last survivor of his family. His estate stretches for miles around the house. At one time, the estate was prosperous, with many tenant farmers cultivating his land and providing a healthy income for his family. But things started to change. His sister died at the age of 32 under mysterious circumstances. She was found dead in a clearing in the woods with strange marks on her neck. News traveled fast, and the ignorant peasants started muttering about witchcraft and black magic. In their eyes, the house was cursed. Pure superstitious nonsense, of course. But gradually the farmers moved to new pastures, avoiding the estate. By now you have finished your meal. Franklin returns to offer you fruit, cheese, coffee, and brandy. Excuse me. Fruit, coffee, and brandy. Cheese, coffee, and brandy. Just cheese and coffee. It seems... Oh, no, wait. I was about to say it seems strange with the coffee and brandy. No, not really. Now, mind you, it wasn't brandy, but my father used to have a dessert coffee after special meals and stuff of coffee and some Grand Marnier mixed with it. So, yeah. Some fruit would be nice. Franklin brings them to you, and you finish off your meal. Well, my friend, says the Earl, you must be quite tired now. It is well past midnight. Franklin will show you to your room. You thank him, and follow the butler out of the dining room. This way, if you please, he says as he leads you to a magnificent, wide staircase with carved wooden banisters. A landing at the stop leads to various different rooms. Is that supposed to be top? Sorry. Each with a name plaque on the door. He takes you to one which reads Erasimus Room, and opens the door, wishing you a good night's sleep. Turn to 5. The bedroom has been prepared for you. The room is not large, but a huge mirror appears to double its size. Crisp white sheets have been folded back on the bed, and a warm fire burns in the fireplace. The door closes as the butler leaves the room, and you walk over to the fire. Your situation is a little worrying. If you don't get going quickly, you will never make your appointment. But if it is true that there is no phone you can use, what else can you do? Maybe you should just hang your wet clothes in front of the fire and climb into bed. Or would you rather leave the room? Turn to. Oh, after a time like that and a meal like that, I don't know about you, but drying clothes and getting into bed, that sounds good to me. The bed is warm and comfortable, and you soon drift off to sleep. Strange and disturbing thoughts drift through your mind, and you wake suddenly in a cold sweat. A noise has disturbed you, and you realize that it was the sound of the door closing. You look around the room and notice a glass containing a clear liquid by the side of your bed. Someone has brought you a bedtime drink. You spring out of bed and try the door, but it's locked. Do you wish to swallow the drink that has been brought for you, or will you try to break down the door? I don't want to do either of those. Okay. Strange liquid. A night toddy. Well, it isn't, because it's clear, but what's this? The liquid has slightly sweet taste, like water with a spoonful of sugar dissolved in it, but your mouth is dry from your sleep, and you drink it down. You lie back thinking about your visitor. You decide it was probably Franklin's, the butler. It was nice of him to bring you a drink, but why has he locked the door? Again, you start to feel tired, and you curl up on the bed. Your head starts to swim, and the room spins around. Too late. You realize that you have been drugged. Although you try your best to fight the feeling, it is no use. Consciousness fades. You open your eyes. Your head is spinning, and it is some time before you are fully awake of the fact that your hands and feet are bound. The room you are in is empty, but you work out a plan. You will hop over to the window, break the glass, and use it to cut yourself free. Pulling yourself to your feet is awkward, but you manage it, and with a mixture of hops and shuffles, you arrive at the window. You arrive at the window. Outside, the wind is blowing rain against the window panels. Will you go ahead and smash the window with your hands? Something of a risky business, or will you instead test your luck? Let's test our luck. You have to roll under your luck, and our luck is reduced by 1 now. You manage to escape the splintering glass without harm. Now turn 2. You cut yourself free and massage your wrists to get the circulation moving again. Then you walk over to the door and try it. It is not locked. You try the handle, open it a little, and look outside. Your room is on the first floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade? Oh, for any people from North America, first floor would be what we would call the second floor. In the UK, it's like ground floor, then first floor. So, we're on the second floor, even though it says first floor. Anyways, balustrade. And looking over the banister, you can see the entrance hall below. To your left, there are 2 doors in the corner of the landing, which runs along to the right. If you wish to go this way, turn. Looking to your right, the landing runs past another door, then turns left. No, let's just go this way. You walk up to the 2 doors in the corner of the balcony. The one on your left is named Balthus, and the one in front of you has no name. Let's go through the other door. The door opens into a narrow passageway which ends at a window. There is a door halfway along the left-hand side, and a sign on the door identifies it as the Diabolus Room. If you wish to try this door, turn to 13. Let's investigate the window before trying that door, the Diabolus Room. The curtains are drawn across the window, and you approach cautiously. You gingerly patch the folds in the curtain, and are relieved to find nothing there. Although they seem to be safe, you are still on your guard as you draw them apart. As you do so, a thunderclap booms outside and makes you jump. But you are safe. A perfectly ordinary window is uncovered. However, the heavy iron bars on the outside are a little worrying. Why would you have iron bars on the second floor? Through the window you can see nothing but the rain running down the pane of glass. Vicariously, the rain is avoiding one area. Could it have been that the wind is blowing the rain away from this one corner? You bend down and take a closer look. Written in the condensation, which has formed on the glass, is a message. You read 3 words. Mordana in Baddon. You repeat this message to yourself, then rub it off the window in case anyone else should see it. This message may be useful to you, and you will realize when it is. Now you must head back to the landing and turn left. Or we can try the door. Yes, try the unmarked door. Oh, shoot. I thought, anyways. You step into a small storeroom. I thought it meant the other. I got myself confused. You step into a small storeroom and close the door behind you. There are shelves on the left and right walls, on which various house objects are stored in. In the wall facing the door is another door. A door within doors. What do you want to do? Let's search these things. Various items of crockery, cutlery, and food are kept in the storeroom, including a sharp meat knife which you hide under your coat to use as a weapon in the future. This sharp knife adds 3 skill points in a fight, which is good because our skill is horrible. On one shelf you find several cloves of garlic, which you also take. There is also an unlabeled bottle of white liquid on another shelf. I don't want to drink the liquid. If you would prefer to ignore the liquid and try the door at the back storeroom, Your alternative way is to leave by the door you entered and return to the landing. Return to the landing. I don't want to drink the liquid. A few steps past the unmarked door is another unmarked door. Okay. Hi. Oh, you're creepy. You open the door cautiously at first, but all you can see is darkness. As you swing it wide open, you scream out loud as a body tumbles forward on top of you. The body is that of an old man, judging by the expression on his face. His death was not pleasant. Definitely not pleasant. He's dead. Gain 3 fear points. Whoa. Turn to 374. The landing turns right and the passage branches off. You may either turn left down the passageway and past a couple of doors before turning left again, or you may turn right following the landing. Okay, turn right. You follow the landing round past a wooden door which bears the name Toodlevillas. Okay. Straight ahead ends at a panel wall and the passageway turns to the left. To follow the passage, let's check out the room. You step into the room. It is a stylish bedchamber, beautifully decorated, but one thing disturbs you immediately. The windows are barred. Perhaps being so far from anywhere, they are designed to keep intruders out, rather than keep guests in. In the center of the room is a 4-poster bed. You walk over and test the mattress. It feels very comfortable. By now you are in need of a rest. Will you climb into bed? Or will you walk over to the window to take a look outside? Let's take a look outside. I don't think popping into bed's a good idea. You draw back the curtains and peer outside. The light in the room makes it difficult to see, so you will pull the curtains behind you. With your face pressed against the bars, you look through the window. There is a rumble of thunder in the distance, and the rain is still beating down, making it difficult to see anything. A fork of lightning flashes down from the sky and lights up a sight which makes you cry out loud. Outside your window, dripping wet and swaying in the wind, is a ghastly face, a long dead figure, hanging in a noose, staring at you with lifeless eyes. You step back and flinging the curtains shut to hide the horrendous sight. The face is familiar. The old man in the village. You gain 3 fear points. Just like that, we're up to 6. Oh. Can we go back to the brandy and the fire and just lose one of those points? Will you dive in the bed and sleep through the night, or will you run out onto the landing? Let's run out onto the landing. You open the door quickly and step out onto the landing. Luckily, there is no one about. Turning left, you follow the passage around until you reach a wood panel wall where the passage turns left. You follow the passageway round the corner to the left. 2 doors face each other. across the passage, and you may either try the door on the left to the Belial room, or the door on the right to the Baddon Room. Baddon! Straight ahead, the passageway continues for a few meters before ending at an unmarked door. Oh, we so have to try the Baddon Room. I mean, we got that clue on the window. Oh. You enter a bedroom which is lit by a single candle, burning by the bedside. A heavy, musty odor hangs in the air, which could come from all the plants which are standing in pots on the mantelpiece, beside the table, dressers, and shelves. Whoever used this room certainly liked plants. But another sight catches your attention and stops you in your tracks. Asleep on the bed is an old woman. It seems that she has not heard you, for she has not moved since you entered the room. Do you wish to leave her in peace, or do you want to walk over and wake her? Alternatively, you instead spring over and attack her before she can awake. No, let's not do that one. Let's see if we can gently arouse her there, and see if we can learn anything. You step over to the bed and shake the old woman gently, but as soon as you touch her withered skin, you jump back in horror. She's stone cold, dead. You gain 2 fear points from the shock. As you stand by the bed shivering, a low moan comes from the body. Its eyelids flicker open. Pure white eyes stare up at the ceiling. She has no pupils. Do you want to wait to see what will happen next, turn 2, or will you beat a hasty retreat and return to the passageway? I really want to see what's going on here. You hear words coming from the old woman, yet her lips do not move. Stranger, how dare you invade the private bedchamber of the woman of the house, she asks. You stammer an apologetic reply. She orders you, begone, intruder. Leave an old woman to die in peace. I think we should... No, I'm going to push for information. What business of yours is this house? She screams. If you will not go of your own accord, then my hounds will see you off, and if they cannot, I will do so myself. With these words, a panel slides open in the wall. 2 huge Great Danes spring out and attack. You must fight. If you defeat the dogs, you may leave the room by turning 2, or if you defeat the dogs, will you remain to search it? If you are defeated, okay, so we must fight first. So we have a okay skill. Let's see. Yeah. We're not going to test our luck yet. Oh, wow. Oh, the dice are against us. Okay, test luck we have to hear. No. Oh. Nice. Hey, we hit! Finally! Okay, one is down. Or almost down, I should say. You have defeated the first Great Dane. Now you must face the second. That doesn't bode well. That does. Nope. Oh, it was a tie. Yes. One more hit. There. Let's search it. We really push up. You search the room while the old woman threatens you from her bed. You recognize some of the plants. The woman's voice grows frantic as you poke around a herb garden by the window. A thought draws on you, and you turn to her, threatening to destroy her plants unless she is able to give you information you require. She shrieks at the thought of you harming her plants and agrees. How to find the man in gray? No, we obviously didn't that. About the secret rooms in the house. Yeah. Before I will answer your question, she says, you must tell me something. What is my name? Do you know her name? If so, turn to 88. We do. Remembering the message on the window, you say, Morgana. She curses. Damn you, stranger, she hisses. All right then, I will answer your question. Which question did you ask her? Secret rooms. Secret rooms, she laughs. Why, this house is riddled with secret passageways and secret rooms. Most are in the cellar, though, but some of the upstairs passages lead to them. The most cunning secret room is the master's most trusted hiding place. It can only be reached by one way, and that is from under the stairs in the cellar. A password is needed, and one knew the old one. And I knew the old one, but it has recently been changed. Shaku will know the new one. The woman's eyes close, as if this conversation has been great straight. You leave her be and consider the information you have been given. Having explored most of the rooms upstairs, no I haven't, if you creep downstairs, okay. You walk downstairs cautiously, looking in every direction. There is no one about. In the hall below, you may choose to try the door on the left, or you may choose the door on the right. Alternatively, you can walk up to the front door and open it. Why don't we just get the hell out of here? Oh. That does not bode well. You grip the handle, turn it, slowly pull the door open. The noise of the storm raging outside becomes louder. You start to walk through the doorway, but stop and gasp, your eyes frozen wide open. Standing in the doorway before you is a hooded figure, but its face is not human. Instead, the head of that of a goat, and its mouth is red with blood, which is dripping to the ground. Its dead eyes stare vacantly upwards. The sight is terrifying, and you gain 3 fear points. This horrific sight is enough to scare anyone to death. Sadly for you, you have reached your maximum fear score. Your time in the House of Hell is over. The end. Well now, that was a pretty good one, I think. So, I hope you enjoyed this yearly tradition of House of Hell on Halloween. And I hope to see you again soon. Very soon. Please do take care all. Bye.